Every day is different as a veterinarian. Some good, some calmer than others, some dramatic, and even sad at times. Every patient that goes home with their family or whose suffering I can help is another reminder of why I do what I do. I am DocBott.
Last week on DocBott, Titus got some one-on-one time with DocBott, a broken back from a hit and run, and Ollie's appetite for toys bit back with a bowel obstruction.
That pet named Ollie, 5-month-old little boy dog that ate a bunch of rocks the other day. Went to an emergency clinic. They took an x-ray and they could see those rocks. They were in the colon, and those rocks did pass. But since that time, which was back on
Ollie had presented at another clinic after eating rocks and had passed some, but there was still something not right. So his owners brought him in to DocBott.
And we took a series of x-rays.
I had to push other surgeries to later in the day to get Ollie into surgery at the earliest time available.
We placed a contrast material in there called barium. We just watched that go through. So we take x-rays every 30 to 40 minutes. And the barium just stopped. So we knew that there was something in there that was obstructing it. Certain things you can see on an x-ray. A rock, a piece of metal, easy to see. Plastic, clothing, it's the same density on an x-ray as everything else, and so it's very hard to see that. And we did find a blockage. A little plastic squeaky toy was obstructing the intestine. We were able to remove that and close everything up, and I think that Ollie's going to be fine. And getting in to the veterinarian as early as possible is always important. It's as far as affecting the outcome. If we had waited until tomorrow, for example, to do the surgery on Ollie, very likely he would have passed away. I put about 8 feet of suture in to close that, and so there's approximately 60 stitches inside that intestine, just in the intestine. And then to close the abdominal wall, I had to use 3 different suture packs, so about 8 feet. There's almost 20 feet of stitches inside this dog, and you look at it that way, that's a pretty intense surgery. And so if Ollie were to go home and jump, then something could pop loose, and that could be devastating for him. But we're going to do what's called a laparotomy, exploratory laparotomy. It's exploratory surgery. Laparotomy meaning just opening the abdomen and looking around. So we have a presumptive blockage. We don't know what it is. I have a general idea where it is. So what I do in cases like this is I open the abdomen and we just look around for it. Find it, take it out. What it is, we'll see. So right now I'm entering the abdomen. Okay. We'll just get in here and start feeling around. We find something great. If we don't, then that doesn't mean that it wasn't a good idea to do this. But that's our problem right there. So that's our blockage. So definitely, whatever we have right there, it is stuck. So I want you to see the diameter change from up here as this is went through the intestine to right here, which is the normal intestinal size. So on the x-ray, that's what we could see, is we could see small and all of a sudden it just got large. We could tell that there's something stuck in here.
Bowel impactions can kill the intestines. This is called necrosis, or dead bowel, a fatal condition in humans and animals. Always consult with your veterinarian when an animal shows signs of a bloated gut or unusual eating habits or inability to relieve themselves.
Here it is. I'm going to grab my... Who knows what it is? Some type of a plastic cap or ball or something there. Oh, look at that.
Is it like a bubble?
Probably. Okay, so I move that out just like that right there. Now we have to close this up. So this is really where the difficulty is I have to close this hole back up and make it so there's absolutely no leaking at all. If there's leaking, then we will die. If we had waited a few more hours or waited until tomorrow, this section of intestine would be dead, and this dog would potentially also be dead. So we made the right call. As a veterinarian, these are tough judgment calls to make. You kind of have to just trust your judgment, and you get in and find this and say, oh good, it's the right call. You never do know though until you get in and see. An enterotomy is an incision into the intestine that is then closed again, resutured. So we did a laparotomy, opening the abdomen, looking around, exploratory laparotomy. We found the foreign body, we removed it, which is called an enterotomy. And within about 5 to 7 days, this will be healed. And so I tell owners that 5 to 7 days is really the critical phase after this surgery. And really what we watch for is, are we going to the bathroom? Are we eating? If things are passing through, then that means that everything is working. Every time you go into an abdomen like this and do a surgery like this, there's going to be adhesions that form and scarring, and it's more and more dangerous every time. You can't go in and just do this every time they eat, because they won't be able to handle it. I'm going to put a larger drape over the top right here, because we've contaminated this with intestinal content. Before we close up anything in here, I have to change my gloves, and we have to use different surgical instruments because now they're all contaminated from this. I'll do one more check here, just make sure we don't have any leakage.
After the break, alpacas get a checkup with DocBott.
So we're going to pull this back out. There's our site. We're going to follow it down. So see how much smaller that is? That's your normal. Right here is typically where that junction is. So if this had just kept traveling, this is the junction between the small intestine and the colon. There's absolutely no way that thing could have moved through there. 100% impossible. No question. But this is very satisfying as a veterinarian, as a veterinary technician, as a team member here. This intervention is saving this dog. Without doing this, unequivocally, this dog would die. And it's kind of cool to be able to do that. Not all surgeries are like that. If we're spaying and neutering, we're not necessarily dealing with life and death. But with this, it's like, hey, we saved a pet's life today, and that's cool.
Yes. Oh my God. Yes.
That probably is a squeaky toy.
Animals, dogs especially, will eat grass to settle an upset stomach. Occasionally, they will eat rocks and other strange items. This condition in humans is called pica. Eating foreign objects can be fatal.
What's the vest for?
It's a bulletproof vest. I use that when I work on reindeer.
Oh.
With their antlers. Yeah. So in about a month, you're going to rub all that fuzzy velvet off of their antlers, and at that point, they are absolute weapons. Right now, when these antlers are growing, they're super sensitive. So if I were to reach out and grab one of the antlers, they're all going to react, grimace in pain because they're so sensitive. What happens is those antlers calcify and literally become bone tissue, and they lose all sensation and blood supply at that point, and they are just daggers. And so whenever I work with them starting about August 1st, I have to wear a bulletproof vest because easily they could gore me, and so that's what that's for.
Wow.
And unintentional. I mean, they have antlers sticking out every which way, sharp points. It's not that they're malicious typically, but all they have to do is turn their head really fast.
There may be something catching in this small farmyard, as the animals are looking a little thin. I visit these alpacas regularly for deworming and check their feed to get these animals back in prime shape.
Nah.
So, for body condition, where you want to be able to feel these, you want to be able to feel the ribs but not necessarily see them.
Okay.
So we are just a slight hair, just under the ribs, but not too bad.
Okay.
So right here, often they'll have an indentation right here between the sacrum.
Okay. Oh yeah.
And so that's really,
So that's where you want that filled in.
just a tiny bit, you know.
Okay.
You don't want it to thick.
Okay.
So that if we give them a dewormer,
We did, yeah, like a month ago. We gave them, yeah, ivermectin. Test?
so it's the same on them. You can feel right here. Actually, right here, if you want to just feel.
Yeah, right there. And it's
A little bit more weight.
okay.
So the next step would be give an oral dewormer called Valvazin.
I gave him something for the coccidia, but I don't know if it was that. It was in a, like I gave it to him orally.
Valvazin's a drench, but it's for specifically.
Oh, okay.
fungus. And when you see anemia, especially if you're looking at the conjunctiva around the
Here, let me
eyes,
get one of them to come out here.
I'd still probably recommend doing that a month or so.
month?
An oral Valvazin dose, just because of the history.
Okay. How often should we be deworming them out here? Hold on. You're okay. Oh, girl,
The
you're okay.
history, I'd say I'd probably do every 3 months.
3,
personally.
okay.
Yeah. And then after a year or two, I think we'll have it under control.
Okay.
Kind of
Where then you
every
can do it a
6
little
months
bit
or so.
more.
So again, at the same time you're looking back here, I want you to feel right there. This one's actually in better condition.
Oh, yeah.
Feel that?
Yeah. She's the bully of the barnyard. She kind of rules it.
So her body condition's actually okay.
She's okay?
Yeah,
Okay.
She actually might be just a tiny. Oh no, she's okay. So, yeah.
So, what about sheep food for her? Is she gonna get like OBs? She'll be okay? Okay. Yeah, she is so funny. She eats by herself in one trough, and all 4 animals eat together because she won't let anybody by her. She spits at everybody. How cute, but I love it's a rooster, so I have to like. It's starting to grow.
We're headed to the Hare Krishna temple in Spanish Fork, Utah right now to look at some llamas. Not a lot of llamas around anymore. A lot of farms will have 1 or 2. They use llamas to protect livestock. And thought process is if you have 1 llama, they're going to protect your sheep. If you have 2 llamas, they're just going to hang out and let the predators eat the sheep. So a lot of small ranches will have a single llama. The Hare Krishna temple's got a lot of llamas. I don't know how many there are. But we're going to go look at 8 of them. These 8 llamas are going to go be filmed for promotion of a certain business. So they're renting these llamas basically from the Hare Krishna temple. It's always fun to go to the Hare Krishna temple. I really enjoy talking to Vi, who is kind of oversees animal care and everything there. She's a neat lady. Always an adventure when we go and talk to her. These llamas are really unique, and they're somewhat bigger than ordinary llamas. They're kind of a purist in the llama sense. A lot of llama breeding has been over the last 25 years or so here in the United States. We've selected for kind of a smaller llama, kind of prettier faces, but these llamas are look like what you'd see down in the Andes Mountains in Peru. They're kind of an elegant looking animal,
The male's a couple, 2 to 3 years old right now, or 450 pounds, are huge, so they're really neat. Llamas are a lot different than alpacas. They look a lot alike, but they metabolize drugs a lot differently. The anesthetic requirements for a llama are actually a little bit lower generally than an alpaca. They're a lot of fun to work on, and it's pretty rare to have a group of llamas, so it should be an adventure for us. It's an animal sanctuary is the best way to describe this. They have llamas and they have a couple of miniature zebu cattle. They've got some peacocks and stuff. The animals there are safe. They're never going to be slaughtered. They're never going to be killed. They give them a very good life, feed them. A lot of people are there all the time, so they're really well taken care of. So they've got a great life, these llamas. They rent them out as pack animals, so people will go take them on a backpacking trip. They do great. They're quite tame. And I just provide their veterinary care. So llamas don't have teeth on front up here. They've got this
only the bottom
palate. These teeth often need to be trimmed. Some of them will wear them down on their own, but sometimes you have to grind them and cut them. But they look great on these. So.
Is that just because they're diet and have teeth on?
Yeah, most ruminants don't. So like cattle and reindeer, they don't have teeth, and they're eating plants, and so they don't require that. There's two breeds of alpacas. There's a Surrey alpaca that has long, almost like
curly,
long hair.
Beautiful wool.
Then the other breed, the most common breed, is a wakaya. That's what they're called. But a lot of llamas will have hair similar to a wakaya. But this one's a lot more coarse hair.
Yeah. So this is the kokara hair, as far as what
really
is
an elegant looking.
Oh, beautiful llama. Yeah.
Really beautiful. Yeah. Okay. This baby born in May or June?
No, this baby is only 2 weeks old.
Okay. Growing well, I see, though.
It's about 35 pounds. It was 24 pounds at birth. So it's growing very well. Yeah, Mama.
Good strong heart here, Jake. You should listen to that. It's great.
You want to pet the baby? So nice and fluffy.
Come on, Casey. Kendon, you gotta pet this.
Llamas have oval or egg-shaped blood cells instead of round to help them with oxygen in the higher elevations.
What does it feel like? Like a blanket. Like a blanket? Like a fuzzy blanket.
Okay.
Is the baby gonna go also?
Llamas are larger than alpacas. Baby llamas and alpacas are called cría. Males are called macho, and females are called hembra.
No one else can do this. Yeah, happy. They're happy when the mama comes.
Llamas are sometimes rented to carry heavy gear on long hikes. Llamas' ears are curved and shaped like a banana, and alpacas have straight ears. Llamas have a 3-compartment stomach. Cows have 4. Humans have 1.
We just stopped at the Hare Krishna temple, looked at a few llamas that are going to be traveling to northern Utah to be filmed for 3 days. They've got a healthy collection of llamas there. We did look at 8, plus one that did have a sore foot and a swollen joint. We're going to put it on some pain medication, give it a little bit of time. I think that just the rough, uneven terrain around the temple there, it's just kind of rolled sideways on that foot. Very healthy animals. Their llamas are very well behaved. I didn't get spit on, which is always a big bonus. And I didn't get kicked, so it's a good day. It's a very beautiful view there at the Hare Krishna temple. I really enjoy going there. They always treat me really well. So that's a great introduction to llamas. And llamas have formed a very important part of my career. Ever since I lived in Peru from 1991 to 2001, I've loved llamas and alpacas, vicuñas, guanacos. And so every time I go work on these animals, I get a glimpse of South America and I always reflect back on my time down there and how much fun it was. But anyways, it's just neat. They've got birds and peacocks, fish.
Join us next week on DocBott. The cutest baby elk ever seen comes in for a checkup after being abandoned by its mother. Join DocBott on his DocBott Facebook page for weekly updates on episodes and trivia.
Join me every week for a new adventure in animal medicine. I am DocBott.